Welcome to another session of Endless Legend. I'm Mats and I'm playing the Kapaku on Endless difficulty. And currently we're about to face Purple, the strongest empire in the game, in a significantly large battle. In this battle we definitely want to make sure that our most powerful units are the first reinforcements available to us. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like our hero is pretty low in health, which is kind of well, we have a bunch of units which are quite low in health, unfortunately. But fortunately, we still have some of these powerful cavalry units to carry us home to victory, I think. I don't know if we want the hero to charge in. Maybe not. Alright. Now, the difficulty is for us making sure that we get enough hits to connect. Also making sure that we don't lose our forces unnecessarily. So let's just make sure that these cavalry units are getting to good spots. This is a cliff face, so we can't attack up from here. Alright. I think I just want my infantry units to engage these necro drones and just keep them blocked. And I want to use the cavalry units to weaken their infantry lines. This is a raider, so it doesn't have protection from what's it? It doesn't have protection from the disease. I mean, I'm by no means like an expert tactician. Okay, our hero just took a heavy hit there, but fortunately our cavalry units, the golem riders, are just obscenely powerful in this game. In particular, look at how much damage they're doing in an arc. It's really impressive. I'm not sure why there's a cavalry unit on that tile. Looks like that tile should be empty, or not, I don't know. That's a bit strange. So we have managed to wrap around their front line here. So that means our golem riders are taking a bit more damage than I would have wanted them to. Really, one of the issues with this sort of army is that we don't have enough sustain. So if our cavalry units take hits, like they have done recently, it looks like this unit didn't even move that much. It's kind of stuck there, so we can hope their hero doesn't have an impact on the battle. If our cavalry doesn't have that much sustain, so if we have to fight multiple battles, it can be a bit bleak for us. Let's just micro this unit to the back, keep this unit behind, and I'm sort of hoping everything will take care of itself. Yeah, make sure that this unit moves away from the reinforcement point. No! We lost them. Well, at least they traded, so that's not bad. And here we can get those powerful sweep attacks. An excellent... We're just cutting through their lines here. I mean, the area has so many units, typically, because of its economic advantage, that you have to kind of win wars like this, especially in the early game. Okay, we're just going to maneuver our cavalry back. Don't want to lose it unnecessarily. This is going to be valuable to us in a couple of turns when it regenerates. Hopefully, at least. I just want to move them to safety here. Keep this one on here, yeah. I suppose we might even want to... I might have employed the strategy of trying to goad this infantry force out. Yeah, this is a bit better now. Multiple units of ours can attack their units. And it looks like this engagement is going very well for us. Mostly because of that rack by the that circular attack by our cavalry units, where it surrounded the enemy infantry and really went to town on it, is what's helping us out here. So we're gonna send these cavalry units at this hero, I think. Or we can just wait for a bit. keep some armies here. We definitely want to send these 2 armies at this one. And these are relatively powerful, I guess. Yeah. Does seem to have range slayer, which no! Ah, I forgot to micromanage those. That's very unfortunate. Highly irritating. It's easy to forget which units are moving where. Well, it's easy for me to forget. I mean, that might just be on me. I might have just lost the unit here for no reason, but it looks like it's going to target the wrong one, so that's good for us. Okay, let's just attack here. Let's see which unit is moving first. Let's move that away. Definitely want to move with this unit here or something. Right, attack this. But this unit is moving first. Okay, I can move there. For some reason this unit wasn't responding. And I can move... Yeah, I can just attack with these. That should be okay. I'm just hoping that the hero doesn't attack one of my weakened units. I'm also hoping that this can very quickly be resolved here. But it looks like we're going to trade very well, losing very few units, and killing their entire army, which is excellent. And also hopefully taking very little damage in the army. Whoa, that is a pretty good move. Close the gap on that hero, and now our cavalry units can attack with impunity. Nice. This formation, as you might imagine, is also very good against archers, because archers tend to be, well, they'll have to be clumped up at some location, unless they can make a choke point. Based on some favorable location on the map, you can normally wrap around them and just wreck them. So I found these cavalry compositions of the Kapaku to be extremely effective. See, we've wiped out the entire army, we only lost 1 rider, so that's great. We can pick up additional initiative boosts on our army, which is probably better than picking up more damage on our hero. Especially since our hero is likely to be critically wounded the entire time. Okay, we're going to move this first forging flame upwards. Making sure that our strongest units are reinforcing faster. Now the issue here is that this proliferate is attacking, so we really don't want to lose any of these units. I can't claim full credit for how well this battle is going. I've unfortunately had to repeat this episode a bunch of times. So I've had a little bit of experience. I'm going to have to move these back. Yeah. I think we can think about moving this back. We just want to make sure that we lose absolutely nothing to this proliferator here. I guess we should make sure that we root these in place as well. Yeah. We want to move these back. Move this forward, I think. Move this forward. Annoyingly, the proliferator gets to attack here. It doesn't do much damage, but if a unit dies, they'll get more units over time, which we want to avoid if at all possible. It's not the end of the world. These battle balls are actually very strong. Never mind, it is the end of the world. As long as we can beat this battleborn without losing much army forces. Okay, that's good. Okay, these battleborns seem quite powerful. There's a militia though. We're gonna maneuver around this direction, I think. Okay, I don't want units to die, ideally. I guess we can move here and just attack in the middle. And then we'll attack like this. And then we'll attack over there. I'm gonna probably lose units in this fight. I'm not happy about that, but I don't see how to avoid it. Alright. Yeah, that's interesting. Whoa! That was a huge attack from that proliferator. They normally don't do much damage, actually. Okay, I guess that was one of our weaker riders, so it's okay. Hopefully we can do some damage here. And we did. I don't know how we're missing so much. I guess these are our second tier units. We must make sure that none of our units die while affected by the proliferator. Which unit is affected? This one seems to be. Oh, it's immune to disease. Oh, immune to disease and parasitism. Never mind, this proliferate is doing absolutely nothing. We don't have to worry about that. So what I was worried about is the proliferator's ability, where it picks up... where it can turn parasites, but it turns out this disease immunity perk is very good against that, so... This is an Ashen One Rider. I don't really... this is a bit messy. But I don't think I'm gonna hold units back, actually. Unfortunately, this thing is actually doing quite a bit of damage. This is the awkward part about having not only good armies, is that sometimes your sub-tier whoa! That deals a lot of damage to our unit. I guess they have cavalry there. It's that your weaker armies will just engage the enemy, and then you will have a sizable disadvantage. Okay. But it looks like none of our units are actually dead, even though they're all vulnerable. Fortunately, his life drain is coming in handy here. I'm going to move this unit back. It's too weak. Our hero can definitely charge ahead. This unit is also very weak. So is this unit. And this unit is weak, but I don't care as much about it because it's not as valuable. Or like, it doesn't have as good stats, basically. This should also go, I think. Yeah. Never mind. We weren't going to save that unit anyway. But fortunately we are immune to parasitism, which is excellent, because them having more units, which are as strong as the Battleborn, would have been disastrous for us. But fortunately we have trinkets to counteract the most powerful things that the necrophages can do. They are obviously late game trinkets, so yeah. You can't always rely on those early in the game. Yeah, so we won another fight. This time it was a bit more scrappy, but we're also going to pick off this hero here, which is very nice, actually. As long as we defeat the rest of the army, which we have. Picking up their governor is also pretty sweet. Not their governor, probably even a general, to be honest. Yeah, so it seems we got the better of these engagements. We might even want to back off to make sure we have time to heal. And in that way we maximize the value we get from these fights. So we lost a lot of these low tier units and one of these, which is a good tier unit. But we've killed their armies. Let's see if they still have really... they don't seem to have many armies on the field, actually. So I guess the day is ours. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about how this round of combat went. Okay, let's just make sure we have everything together there. The question is, if we attack the city, are there any armies in the way? The answer is no. Make sure that this unit gets back here. So I think we can just attack the city. And we capture the city. Excellent. That exfiltrates our hero, but we can infiltrate a different city with her in a turn. So that's fine. So now that we're here, we want to think about... Actually, I need to think about picking up that luxury that improves our healing on heroes or units. Pixie Blood. Yeah, we have enough. I think we have enough to get 45 of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. Let's just pop a Pixie Blood to make sure our armies get some regeneration. We're going to move this army this way. This army is less valuable to us, so we can just make sure that you can get some value here. Pick up these ruins, get some extra dust, and some bonus science, which is very important to us at this stage in the game. But we have to make sure that our army full of Hyperium units doesn't get hurt, because that's quite valuable to us. We can even, actually we can think about turning Raiders and Stone Sentinels into Hyperium units, if we have enough dust, and I think we almost do. We just need to make sure that nothing bad happens here with our city. Like, we don't want the enemy marching their army into this territory and forcing a bad engagement on us. We'd rather give up the city and then capture it again, for instance. Stone Sentinels and Raiders are the units we want to edit. And I actually wanted to pick up this little Geomancer and see what it's like. I think we'll check out the Geomancer after the difference engine. I want to look at all my cities to make sure there are no random armies there. Like, are we producing any military units we can use on the front? Answer's probably no. On this city, we almost want to make another. Okay, rather not. Now let's make sure we edit these Golem Riders, because those are the units we're sort of choked on. Alright. These are the Golem Riders. Actually, no, Raiders. Those are the ones we want to edit. We want to add disease immunity. That's been serving us very well against these enemies. Add powerful claws. And I guess improve our armor a bit. So that adds up to 21 Hyperion. So with our current Hyperion stocks, we can only retrofit a couple of these. It's still worth it though. Yeah. We can't really retrofit many of these. Yeah. We are going to move them over there. So this is just the fight that we won. And here we can just place another volcano former. This is a very big city in terms of borough streets, which is pretty nice for us actually. Could use it as a... Could use it for golem camp. If we want to make a golem camp, we should make it in a more defensible location. Or, not really, we don't have to. There, that's a good choice. We can pick up Imperial funding, or not, I don't know. I almost want to just produce more army units in this location. Although we don't have enough Hyperion, it's probably better to retrofit our army units. So let's just get a public granary or something useful. Yeah, just other useful things, basically. We can also go purely into science, because I don't think science gets cut by unhappiness. Well, actually everything gets cut by unhappiness. I think science is worse. Because once you capture a new city, it becomes immediately unhappy with you, because you grabbed it from other players. And yeah, that's not something they're into. Cool. So those fights went well. We've cleared out some of Blue's armies in this Purple's armies in this territory, and we've established a stronghold in the area. Now that we have that, we can think about making our armies better again. Having taken some hits, we still have a powerful core of units, but we don't have to be reckless. Okay, cool. Just wanna, this hero gains some bonuses applied like that. Why did this army go over here? Let's just make sure they have enough volcano formers to change this terrain, make the city a lot better. Let's move this direction. Can retrofit a couple of raiders. Actually, we can't. I might want to spend some dust on Hyperion, but there isn't that much. If I do that, then I can retrofit a couple of extra raiders here. Yeah. I do want to spend some more Palladian, I think, just to pick up... Actually, the Stone Sentinel was quite bad in this army. Just to pick up another Volcano Former. I want to make sure I have at least one army which is optimal. I think that could be this one. As long as we pick up the... Actually, our armies healed pretty well, as long as we just swap those units around. And we're going to move the armies behind the city. If they want to besiege it, that's fine. But if they attack it while it's besieged, we get a huge defensive bonus. Okay, we're going to put our hero there. Now we have 2 cities of theirs, which we're spying on. Hopefully our spies can get something useful for us in a couple of turns. Like, ideally, maybe we can reduce their morale or something, but maybe we can also reduce their science if it looks like they're getting science victory pretty quickly. We can actually check that while offering a truce and looking at what sciences they have. They have endless alloys and more... No, they have endless alloys. So they don't really want truce. Marvelous alloys is neat. And they have 1 science victory upgrade. So we might want to think about reducing their science in the future. Speaking of which, need to pick up more more pearls of wisdom, if we at all can. Yeah. We can think about setting some luxuries we don't need. Excuse me. Like so. Yep, that's fine. Ideally we could pick up more Dust Orchid for the future, because Dust Orchid is amazing. But yeah. I think currently we're doing fine. We just need to watch out that purple doesn't just randomly get a science victory, and the best way to do that, I think, is just to put pressure on them, both with our spies and our armies, which we're going to continue doing. And I think I'm just going to continue our city around here. Yeah. Okay, they're forming up for a second wave of attacks, I guess. I'm gonna swap around some units, like the Stone Sentinel, into this army. And then put this Ashen one into this army. And here I can just make sure that I have a fully rested, fully titanium army. Oh, damn it. No, I didn't mean to do that. Alright. Alright, let's move this army out of the way. And make sure I can form up. No, I can't, whatever. Stupid. I guess we might as well pick up the Alchemy Workshop here, or we can just start producing some units, actually. Why not? Our Hyperion production is finally, like, petered out a bit. I mean, we're producing a lot still for the stage of the game, but we don't have enough to keep producing armies. This governor has gained a level. I just give it that skill. Give them that skill. And I think we'll just pick this up on that governor. The city has produced the newspaper, which is quite nice. And in 5 turns we have this difference agent in our line. It looks like Moonleaf is not producing. That's I should have made sure to check on the Moonleaf, because Moonleaf is like the most important luxury for us. Let's pop it and hope we can get the difference engine up as soon as possible. We're going to get a Pearl of Wisdom in another turn, which is good. Yeah. And our population has grown again, which is very nice. These Craver cities get really big, because the Cravers have the... Although presumably very unhappy, because the Cravers have the ability to make huge amounts of boroughs at lower industry cost. Now let's check about this. They don't have the Serum of Itaru is the thing I was worried about. If they do have that, we're not going to beat them in fights. But it looks like they just have the industry improving upgrade. It's not like that's bad or anything. It's just, yeah. It's something we can beat more or less. Let's pick up some of these units. Not spectacular, but they are units. Golden Free is actually not bad either. I think we got a pearl. And we gained a level on this hero. I just want to get the thing where we can't go to jail, or can't become imprisoned. So here is an army of theirs on the water. Here are 2 armies of theirs with heroes. I guess we should look at our spies to see what our spies can do for us. So in one turn we're going to unlock the level 2. And I think we can think about what to do then. Yeah. This is a little bit tricky. Ideally we can block that army from coming down. Or maybe we want to go over here, pick up this army. Not sure. Yeah, maybe I feel like my units are well rested. I can move over there. And then I can just keep these units back. As a reserve, and also a retrofittable reserve. Yeah, I think we can just engage this. Yeah, just snipe that army very quickly, and then bounce back. So it's in a way we've weakened them very easily. Now let's double check that we can't buy any more Hyperium. No, we're just gonna have to wait for a daily dose or whatever. I should upgrade these Stone Sentinels to... We don't have to include Hyperion weaponry, but... Yeah, I think we do actually. Never mind. Let's give it a sword. It's relatively tanky on its own. And just giving it away to deal more damage to the infantry is going to help us out a bit. We can also think about picking up another warrior hero, though we don't have enough titanium to make them good. We can pick up another governor, actually. This hero is industry efficient and science efficient, okay. And we can place this governor on this city, and given that the city is going to find conflict very soon, I think that hero should be able to level up relatively quickly. Now the city's still unhappy because of oh, it's still really unhappy because of ownership. That's mostly it. Okay, never mind. And we can produce some reinforcement units in this position. We can also think about making some flying units. If we're going to do that, we're going to upgrade them to tier 3 dust. And they are already disease immune. That's nice. Now the one thing I want to think about is there any way I can get a ranged units on my empire? I could just pick up the Honos, but at the expense of my science bonuses. Let me just pick up Difference Engine first, and then I'm gonna pick up these Geomancers and that, so I can diversify my army a bit, and then I'm gonna go back to the Serum of Itaru. And after that, I don't think I'm gonna lose fights ever, which is good. Now they have a bunch of 6-size armies. I'm just clicking frantically because this is annoyingly how the battle system works in this game. Okay, they ran away again. I'm not sure what to make of that. I guess I can just position myself here to stop this army. How dangerous is that army really, though? I guess we should round up here. And we should spend one of our stockpiles. We're picking up the defense engine in 2 turns, after which we'll have a tremendous amount of science in our empire. Do we have grass silk boosters? We have 30, and we need 45. So we should buy some grass silk. Just bust our science, or boost our science up a little bit more. Okay. So I believe, yeah, we've got an infiltration level 2 hero, which is good. Bonus science, not bad. Actually, want extra exploitation spots on this hero. When next? Oh, we could have picked this up. Okay, we can't pick that up so very soon. So that's very nice. Yeah. I think this is all fine and good. I think we could engage this army, but it's also a bit risky. Now, if we can reduce their science production right now, I don't think that's a bad idea, because we'll improve our seniority, which makes us more likely to deal more. Oh, a spy was badly injured. Oh no. That's annoying. Well, we can always just buy her back immediately and send her back to work. But what she has done, and the dust cost at this point in the game is absolutely trivial, but what she's done for us is just slowed their science production down a bit. And if we can like stack those bonuses very often, or stack those negatives very often, I think they'll pay off for us. You just need to make sure to keep these armies relatively close together. Not sure if I'm doing that. Kind of funny, we've successfully conquered one region. Whoa! They entered that region? Oh no, that's terrible. We have to send this army back really quickly. I missed that boat could have gone like that. The question is, how fast does this thing move? Not very, but we're gonna lose something here if we don't act quickly. So we're gonna... Ugh. Can we buy units from the marketplace, and are they any good? They're not very good. Oof. That's quite intense. I can try and level up her as a warrior hero. This is kind of bleak, actually. Okay. Can now have some mithrite. We can use that to make her a better warrior. In particular, get ourselves a mithrite staff. It's probably going to be better than this staff, to be honest. Like 56 damage, yeah, it's important. Get the helmet for improved damage. Is there anything else we need? We can get the thing that improves our army with mithrite. So, at least we have a somewhat respectable hero. Although, that's pressing it a bit. But. So, we're going to have to move this army back here very quickly. And it looks like they're actually going to move a lot of their units that direction, so this is kind of bad for us. We could ask for a truce in the meantime. Ooh, I can't believe I missed that. That's potentially devastating now. We'll send both of our forces back, I think. Or can we afford to? Well, we can just try and crush this force quickly. We can even... Well, I don't want to trade that city necessarily, but do what you got to do. These armies are relatively small, of 6 units per army. They might have potentially left their city Yegg wide open. They can crush our Golem camp, but it doesn't really matter that much in the broader scheme of things. Okay, we have that battle going. Now I want to send this army all the way back. Yeah, they crushed our Golem camp. Not the biggest deal. We can send our force this way very quickly. Land this army. In the meantime, in this city, we really want to focus on building up some stone sentinels, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So, round up spies here and here. Okay, we're really rounding up in this location. Never mind, I selected the same city like 3 times. Okay, rounding up here. Should round up here. We should send this army here ASAP. Do we have any other armies in our empire? Yes, we have an army here. No, actually, never mind. I think we have to complete that battle first before we level up that hero. And we've reached infiltration level 2, and we can improve our hero there. So they have a lot of reinforcements. Let's see how this fight goes. So here we have our infantry corps. Mostly we just have a ton of cavalry units. And that should hopefully be able to carry us to victory. So our hero unfortunately isn't that effective at this stage of the game. It's being sort of victimized by those infantry units. We do have to take this army out. Ideally we can just keep this army back here and punish them for being so aggressive with the other armies. Ugh, I'm so stupid. I should have watched where the other armies were going. Speaking of watching, I should have paid attention to what the other armies were doing in this scenario as well. Fortunately, they have infantry units like ours, or they have melee units, and infantry units are particularly bad at maneuvering into positions where they can attack. They tend to be quite resilient, but at the same time, not that great because of their lack of mobility. Okay, speaking of which, that infantry unit completely one-upped our units there. Hopefully they don't have a serum already. If they have a serum, that's really bad for us. Oof. Yeah, I positioned our armies really badly in this game. And Endless Space is definitely the game I have more knowledge about, and conversely, this is the game I have the most to learn about. Why are we attacking the hero? That's a mistake. Unfortunately, their armies don't seem to be doing all that much, so that's pretty great for us. We might be able to go over here and attack like so. Let's just make sure we're actually attacking things, everyone. We can go back here. This army probably shouldn't fight. This army could fight over there. I wonder if the hero's bonuses remain while the hero is KO during combat. Probably not, actually. Oof. No, I had to attack with that cavalry unit. I was being too fancy leaving it behind. Swing back in like this. I managed to kill that unit. Didn't manage to kill that unit. They have a lot of health on these units. I guess levels have really aided them there. Yeah, and it looks like we're just going to lose this fight. We should try and keep at least one unit alive. Oh, never mind. Well, we killed their hero, so that's fine. Although the hero comes back to life at the end of the fight, so not so good. Yeah, it looks like we're losing ground steadily. And that's very bad for us. We might have to sue for a truce. And rely on our infiltrators to do things for us. But it looks like we might even just lose this battle on our hero. Yeah, it looks kind of bad. Just gonna bounce back. Hopefully our last cavalry unit can survive. That doesn't look good. So yeah, I really thought this fight was going to be more favorable than it actually was. Turns out the reinforcements are more important than I thought. And we're in a really bad spot in terms of defending our city now. Yeah. We did trade reasonably evenly, but yeah. This is very bad for us. We could try and go for a truce with this empire. And okay, they're not interested in truce anymore. Giving them lots of sciences is a bit risky now, because giving them cities is something we also don't want to do. We can give them irrelevant things like Titan Burns. Do you want Titan Burns? No. I guess we do have to give them sciences. It's kind of awkward. They're not really interested in these, understandably. Kind of insane that they have so much science, but haven't picked up all of these important ones. Yeah, so we were thoroughly beaten there, and we had to offer up a truce. How I feel, because otherwise we could have lost this city, and that would be bad. Cool, so it's super annoying. Spies and saboteurs here. We've already upgraded this hero. One of the cooler modes on the saboteur is that you can that you're able to capture enemy governors, which is really awesome, but possibly not something we're really going to make use of in this playthrough. Never mind, we've already leveled that hero up. And here we've already got basically everything on this hero. Okay. So we're really in a bit of a bind at this point. We're going to have to build up new armies. And yeah, it seems like we're going to have to rely on our science base to win. Potentially we can make good use of our spies to slow down purple. That was the sort of the plan B to plan A. But this definitely didn't go as well as it maybe could have, or maybe as I would have hoped if we've gone. We can think about decreasing their science again, but maybe we just want to wait for longer and get a longer decrease of science, a bigger decrease of science. Although it's probably better to just do this right now. Increase our seniority. Okay, partially wounded. Yeah. Never mind. It's highly irritating. They've already gained one of the technologies to win the game. We have a truce with them for how many turns? 20 turns. So in the meantime we can build up our armies. I mean, that might surprise me by just breaking off the truce. But yeah. So on our plan of trying to disrupt them with our armies failed. But that's not the end of the world. We didn't need to defend ourselves from any other civilization, really. And we put the army to some good use, capturing one of their cities and like anchoring our spies into their position. Okay, they're much close borders. That's probably fine by me. Now we've gained extra science production. I do want to see what this Geomancer does, so honestly I'm keen. And in terms of improving our armies, we probably want to pick up some ranged units as well. Wonder if they just have very beefy units somehow. I guess that was just their main army, because they had so many levels on those units. This unit can still be retrofittable. Okay, can still be retrofittable. Watch Grammar's such impressive. Yeah. I'm not sure what the Stone Sentinel has. Let's look it up. Yeah, it has this weapon, so that's decent. I don't want to cross the sea with it properly. Yeah. Turns out the best army Hyperion could buy wasn't able to tackle the might of the necrophages. I mean, we did really well with like one army, but in the end, and we captured the city. We made pretty good headway, but in the end, it didn't. Wasn't good enough for like a knockout punch, which is unfortunate, but we have to live with that. And we also are playing on the hardest difficulties, so we should sort of expect to be thrown a couple of curveballs. Now we have picked up the science upgrade. The question is, since we're in peace, do we want to maybe get self-driving plows and endless alloys before we get the serum? I think the answer is probably yes. We're going to be in the truce for a while, so we just need to make sure that our infiltrators can slow their science down substantially. Okay. Let's actually see what the Geomancer can do for us. It's possible I want to try for a different army composition and go for ranged units. Minus 10 happiness on cities. We'll have to live with that. Ideally we can pick up a couple of pearls. We can't attack this army because of the truce, unfortunately. Or fortunately, before I dig myself into another hole for military action. Now let's see what this Geomancer has to offer. It has Geomancy, plus 20 attack on friendly units when cast on volcanic terrain. Okay. So it gives us benefits based on which kind of terrain we're on. It doesn't actually seem that good to me. But wands give pretty neat perks. Like, no, sorry, long scepters give pretty neat perks like exhaustion. Although the damage output is not that impressive. Well, 74. But I guess if we're picking this unit, we're mostly going to pick it for the exhaustion tier upgrades. So, as sort of expected, these units aren't amazing. They give nice buffs, but we won't need that really unless we're really going for that kind of thing. I don't know. Improved life. That's what everyone wants, right? Yeah. Okay, Geomancers don't seem that impressive. But I guess we can pop out a couple of them if we want. Now we quickly get Native District and then move on to more exciting things. Once we have Native District, we should be able to get some ranged units. In our Empire, do we have some? Seriton are not great ranged units, but there's something. System. We only really have the Herners, which are decent range units actually. Yeah, the orcs. So I think I'm fine with that. Do we have any army units here we can use to pick up these pearls? I guess this is a good excuse to make some more army units. So our position isn't really bad by any stretch, but that invasion wasn't the sort of knockout blow I was hoping it would be. Okay, infiltrators reach level 2, that's good. Self-driving plow is coming up in 8 turns, that's excellent. Of course the roundup hasn't availed anything. So annoying. Roll University. I think I'm going to keep getting... Nah, I don't have to get Roll University. I can pick up some new pearls, and once I have those pearls, I can instead... Okay, we can just... No, I'm not interrupting. Hopefully we can find the spy as this one. And then hold the spy hostage. New army. I just want to pick up as many pearls as I can so I can get as many of these pearls of wisdom as I can. Since we are going for the scientific victory, pearls of wisdom are still really important for us. Send it this way, and this way. Okay. Didn't find any spies, of course, because life. Now we can decrease their science production. They're both level 2. I think this stacks. Yeah. This character has a lot of seniority, I guess. Increase our science production again. Return to the academy. That's annoying. Okay. Well, their science production should be a bit stimmy now. I hope those stack, actually. If they don't stack, it would be so sad. Okay, let's go back to the academy, make sure we can find a third builder. No, Ephalor. Third builder's there. This is very important that we have this city, this kind of bridgehead. So we can always find their cities and infiltrate them for our infiltrators. Pretty good. Okay, we're gonna politely ask them to leave. Can you just get out of my borders, dude? No, we don't want to declare war again. I think I want to pick up maybe just a couple of geomancers here. And now we have an empty slot, we can pick up these Honus range units. All the while improving our science for the self-driving plows, which improve our food production again. And we can improve the industry, and then I guess serum of it too. We'll prioritize the serum based on how close we are to winning the game otherwise. Alright, now the question is, how can I make some ranged units, which will integrate nicely into my army? Missing resource. We still have a lot of production of this. We're not producing... Oh no, we're not producing any up here. Winter! Why winter? Why like this? Okay, we can get Mithrite to produce range units with. And we're gonna make the Orc Mithrite so it doesn't compete with the other units. Flying Slayer is... This is not bad. This is the highest damage potential we can do with a bow, basically. Although Hyperion bow is a bit better. It's higher damage potential than these, although we have lower defense. Let's just stick with bows. Give it the cap for bonus damage. And give it some tier weapon, or tier upgrades for that. I guess... Yeah, 21 per level is not bad. Bonus movement speed is obviously important. I don't know what shock does. That's pretty neat. Although it costs us more titanium. The question is, do we really want that? The answer is probably not. Improve life, just to make sure our units aren't too fragile. Okay, and those are the Orc 2s, I think. Yeah, we can pick up a couple of them on this location. And then we'll have a good ranged core to support our melee armies. And we can try and transition to a different kind of strategy. So the one strategy was trying to do was to wrap around and just do a lot of damage and quickly to waste armies that way. which is good, but also sometimes it's a bit better to use the range strategy. You make a strong infantry line or cavalry or whatever kind of line you want, basically. You make a powerful line of melee units. You wait for them to come to you and you pepper them with arrows in the meantime. I don't want to. I'm not giving you this. Yeah. I guess I could go for a truce with them. Self-driving plows is still important though. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Anyway, what else can we do? We still can't really engage with these forces. We can think about using our spies in a couple of turns. Although, maybe we just want to save up our spies a bit, get bigger reductions on these cities. You can even save fortifications to be ready to crush them, but I don't think we'll have as easy a truce next time. Unfortunately, I was forced into a truce because I was forced into a truce because I was losing that battle so badly, which was sad. But it doesn't have to happen again. We do want to make sure that we pick up enough Mithrite so that we can fund a new army. And some of that funding might want to come from a place with better industry. Which city of ours is the most industry? These two are close. We can pick up a bunch of archers here. Yeah, and why not? We'll pick up some archers, we'll send them over. A lot of their units are going to have range slayer though. But range slayer and block are only really good if you can get into close combat range, so I hope that doesn't happen that much. Yeah, maybe I was wrong to think that going to war was the best approach here. And maybe it's best for me to just try and go for an internal victory here. She's wounded as well. Let's just keep them there, and in a couple of turns, try and get a big upgrade off them, as opposed to getting small upgrades relatively slowly. Stupid winter is unfortunately still hampering our ability to do cool stuff, like get Hyperion. I really hate that the winter effect is like that. It's really irritating. Because if you put so much effort into getting your Hyperium production online, and then you're sort of blunted by the effects of the winter. Oh, the city's only happy? Interesting. Oh dear. How can I improve happiness? I can buy some wine. Wine is not a bad booster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, fine. I have to make sure that our moon leaf stays relatively high. Now we're picking up the economic upgrades and because we already have this difference engine. If a player had 2 upgrades of the final tier of science, like if purple had 2 upgrades, the game would tell us because they'd be close to winning the game. They don't, so we can at most be like 5 turns behind. And we haven't received that notification yet, is what I'm saying. So these are both wounded. I think it's best for us just to wait and try and get off some sick science reductions later on. Yeah. Because our strategy is kind of panning out. Our strategy of trying to prevent them from getting these things at all costs. Just send this golem rider through that area. Picking up. Wait, no, go over there. Go over there! Thank you. It's left! The other left! Let's send this army up here. Just pick up every single pearl we can, actually, because each pearl we can get is very valuable as a stockpile, as we discovered in the last couple of games. Pick up scientific envoy is probably more important than another orc unit. And more pearls of wisdom. I'm just going to build up my ranged core of the army now. I'm going to make sure I have several armies which I'm kind of happy with before I declare war again. If I declare war. I probably want to pick up different heroes as well. Although it's going to be hard to make a good warrior hero at this point in the game. Okay, we've got another raider. And I can pick up extra seniority. Okay, cannot be captured is also not bad. Infiltration level of 2. Neat. We need more moonleaf basically. If we can get it. And I'm just gonna start building rural universities here. Now, to be honest, if I put everything on science, does that help? Not that much, probably. Let's go here. I just want to make sure I pick all the pearls up in the areas I have control over. Or at least a lot of the pearls. Here. What else is there? Yeah. Let's get my university triggers. You get value out of tertiary education. We'd like more dust orchids, but that might not be possible. Annoyingly, even the Mithrat has dried up. Actually, there are dust orchids. That's great. I'm going to go for those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That's definitely more than enough. And Moonleaf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Overcompensating. Overshot slightly. Very slightly. Just a little bit. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway. I have to see what did I do with these ended. Yeah, there's generically okay. Not great, but not terrible either. Oh, I guess at this point, if any army that's not great is probably terrible. It would definitely let us know if our enemy had picked up 2 sciences, because then it would be very close to a scientific victory. So in 3 turns, if we are the first to do that, the first to trigger that warning, we'll be the most scientifically advanced empire in the game. We'll just wait 3 turns to get those level 3 bonuses, or level 3 infiltration actions. I'm going to pick up some extra orcs here, and I think I'm going to build actually the Imperial News Network. It's a good idea. Now I have extra influence because of my influence capital. Bonus food, bonus just industry and dust. Wait, science. We can go up to extra science on trade routes and even bonus dust in our cities. Actually, we can get everything. That's wonderful. And the starfish is probably good. Look, having picked up the sort of influence starfish, I think that's a good time to finish our episode here. So thanks again for tuning in. In this episode, we have had a bit of a military disaster, but we managed to stay in the game with a truce, even at the embarrassing cost of giving the Empire some not so amazing technologies, and some amazing ones. And despite that, we're still leading in terms of science, and we have plans to change our army strategy and see if that works out for us. Just as soon as we get enough Hyperion. Which is sort of the catchphrase of the series, I think. So thanks again for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you learned something. And or, well, either from my mistakes or from my good decisions. So join me next time as I continue on my path towards the scientific victory.